Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 144th Commencement Exercises of the United States Coast Guard Academy. I am Master Chief Evan Birch, the Command Master Chief of the Coast Guard Academy. Please rise for the arrival of the official party and the rendering of honors. The rendering of honors includes a 19-gun salute. Please expect loud cannon fire. Military personnel, 10, hut! Now, Coast Guard Academy arriving. Now, Coast Guard arriving. Now, Senior Advisor to the Secretary for the Coast Guard, arriving. Ladies and gentlemen, the Secretary of Homeland Security of the United States of America, arriving. Covered military personnel, hand salute. Ready to. Please remain standing for our national anthem. Covered military personnel, hand salute. Ready, two. Please remain standing. At this time, I invite Professor Eric Wingrove Hoagland to the front of the stage. As Mace Bearer, Professor Wingrove Hoagland is among the most senior members of the faculty and personifies the ideal of learning at the Coast Guard Academy.
The 144th Commencement exercises of the United States Coast Guard Academy are now convened.
Lieutenant Paul Song, Chaplain, United States Coast Guard Academy, will now deliver the invocation.
I invite you to join me in a moment of peace. Let us pray. Almighty God, of all that is, ever was, and ever will be, who lives in the highest and cares for the humble, praise be. O Lord, search our hearts and prepare us by your Spirit to bear witness in this wondrous occasion for all these young men and women before you. We are grateful to be gathered in recognition of them, for they have labored for a time, endured for a time, and now arrive at this time of triumph. Lord, may you bear witness as they take their oaths, bind their hearts to hold true to the values of honor, respect, and devotion to duty in all their days as commissioned officers of the United States Coast Guard. We ask with sincere hearts that you fill us all with joy and thanksgiving for these you have kept, watched over, and faithfully guided over these past years. In the most holy and anointed name, whose mercies are everlasting. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Platform party and presenters of commissions, please join the class of 2025 and uncover. All other military personnel, please remain covered throughout the ceremony. I now have the pleasure of introducing the 43rd Superintendent of the United States Coast Guard Academy, Rear Admiral Michael Johnston.
Good morning. Secretary Noem, Mr. Planky, Admiral Lunde, senior Coast Guard leaders, international delegation, distinguished guests, alumni, veterans, partners, faculty, staff, coaches, family, friends, and the Corps Cadets. Welcome to the home of the United States Coast Guard Officer Corps. And to the great class of 2025, congratulations. You did it. Today marks the culmination of 200 weeks of hard work, perseverance, and sacrifice, not just on your part, but also by those who supported you every step of the way. In just a short while, you will receive your diplomas, take your oaths, and accept your commissions. You will leave this academy not as cadets, but as officers and leaders ready to serve in the world's greatest Coast Guard. This is truly a momentous day for the Academy, for the Coast Guard, and the nation. Secretary Noem, thank you for presiding over today's ceremony. We are privileged to welcome you to this incredible 103-acre campus, and we'll be thrilled to host you again in the near future. We will be happy to show you everything this campus offers our service and to share our part of how we will help build the Coast Guard of tomorrow. Unlike any other federal service academy, 100% of the Coast Guard Officer Corps and much of our senior enlisted leadership and command cadre pass through these gates. This institution is not only where our leaders are trained, but it's also where the identity, the values, and future direction of our entire service is forged. Madam Secretary, as we approach the Coast Guard Academy's 150th anniversary, I assure you, our values and leadership traditions remain steadfast, like those who came before us in the long blue line. These graduates are fully prepared to lead with character and uphold the oath they are about to take. I can say with confidence, they are prepared to serve wherever and whenever the nation calls. And to the families and friends, thank you. Your encouragement, patience, and an unwavering belief in these young men and women have made today possible. To the parents and guardians who offered guidance, to the siblings who stood by them, to the mentors, friends, and role models who offered a helping hand and a listening ear, thank you. Today we celebrate not only the accomplishments of the class of 2025, but also the tremendous role each of you played in helping them succeed. I hope you take great pride in what they've achieved and in what yet's to come. And to our dedicated faculty, staff, and coaches, thank you. Your impact has extended far beyond the classrooms and barracks or the playing fields. You've shaped these cadets into leaders, instilling in them the values of honor, respect, and devotion to duty. You've challenged them intellectually, morally, and physically, and your efforts have made an incredible difference. Class of 2025, please join me in thanking your families, friends, mentors, and the Academy team, and all who have guided you along this way. And now, to the great class of 2025. Over the past 4 years, you've experienced a journey like no other. As fourth-class cadets, you faced the unique challenge of entering the Academy on the tail end of a global pandemic. You endured a ton of change, and yet you adapted, you endured, and you emerged stronger together. As third-class cadets, you built new relationships and entered the fleet and earned qualifications that directly supported a Coast Guard stretched thin by staffing shortages. And in your second year, you grew into leaders. You mentored the incoming class, deepened your academic focus, and many of you launched your capstone projects. As leaders on your athletic fields, you brought home new MAC championships and national titles. And as first class, you stepped fully into the role of leadership. You guided the Corps through a year of transitions, owned every challenge, and stood tall as standard bearers for the Academy and the service. And today is not the end of that. It's the beginning of a new chapter. Now, of the 262 young men and women graduating here today with the class of 2025, 6 are international cadets who have played proudly representing their nations and international partners' services while greatly enriching the Academy and the Corps of Cadets. And at this time, we invite these international cadets, along with members of their service delegation, to stand when their names are called. These graduates will return to their respective services and serve with distinction. audience, please hold your applause until the names have been read. From Jamaica, Nicholas Folks and Shauna Marie Sinclair. From the Philippines, John Rex Gaviola. From Rwanda, Janet Uamahura. From Sri Lanka, Darsha Iragal Bandara. And from Taiwan, Kai Hung Young. Now, please join me in a heartfelt round of applause to our great partners. Thank you. Yeah. In a few weeks, after some well-deserved leave, you will all report to your first units. You'll join a Coast Guard or respective maritime service that is operating in a complex, dynamic environment at sea, in the air, across cyberspace, and at the borders of our great nation and around the world. And if I could take the oath again and begin my career in this Coast Guard, I would, without hesitation. You are in for the adventure of a lifetime, like no other. The service you are joining needs you. Your intelligence, your compassion, your energy, your leadership, now more than ever. In the years ahead, you will face moments of uncertainty, pressure, and adversity. But know this, you are ready. You have been training. You have the training, the mindset, the moral compass to meet every challenge head on. Trust yourselves, believe in your shipmates, and lead with integrity. Class of 2025, my heartfelt congratulations once again. You will always have a home here in New London, and we can't wait to see what you will accomplish in the years to come. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us in celebrating this remarkable class. Now, before I go, I have the privilege of introducing this year's distinguished graduate. The distinguished graduate is a cadet who graduates with the highest military precedence, which includes academic, military, and physical components for 200 weeks. This year's distinguished graduate is First Class Veronica Christophic. First Class Veronica Christophic hails from Colchester, Connecticut, and is the daughter of Ronald and Donna. She was raised alongside her two brothers, Ryan and Kyle, a government major with a concentration in security studies. First Class Christophic has demonstrated exceptional leadership and academic excellence throughout her entire time at the Coast Guard Academy. And during her second class year, she served as Bravo Company Platoon Commander, where she played a key role in the military indoctrination and professional development of the incoming class. And following that year, she interned at the National Security Agency's Operations Center in Fort Meade, Maryland. She also supported the professional development of the class of 2026 at the Air Station Elizabeth City, assisting with the Cadet Aviation Training Program. And in her senior year, First Class Christophic served as captain of the Academy's softball team and earned her third NUMAC All-American recognition, underscoring her dedication to both athletics and academics. Upon graduation, Ensign Christopher will report to Sector Mobile to serve as an intelligence officer. It is my honor to introduce the distinguished graduate for the Coast Guard Academy Class of 2025, Cadet First Class Veronica Christopher.
Good morning, Secretary Noem, Mr. Planky, Admiral Lunday, Admiral Johnson, distinguished guests, faculty and staff, families and friends, and most importantly, the great class of 2025. This speech isn't only about my journey, it's about ours. We didn't make it through 4 demanding years here. We became a family. Year by year, summer by summer, through every failure, success, and surprise, we did it together. And now, as we prepare to enter the fleet, the Coast Guard is changing too. Force Design 2028 marks the most significant shift in a century. But I'm not worried because I know exactly who is stepping up to that challenge. Our class, and our motto says it best: for others, we fight. We have already proven that motto together. We're resilient, we're united, and we're ready to fight for what matters most. Our first fight, it started on a humid 85-degree day in New London in 2021. We arrived as strangers. Some of us excited, some of us scared, and some of us with hair that never grew back. We're looking at you, Grace and Irwin. We reported under normal conditions until COVID turned in what felt like just 24 hours. Suddenly, we were gasping for air in the masks during one of the hottest summers Connecticut had ever seen. Yet, those same masks that were meant to isolate us became the first hurdle that we cleared together. We were all just trying to learn the basic military protocols. For some of us, that was definitely more necessary than others. Ethan Lasher, I hope you now know that Vermont is in fact a state in the US and on the East Coast. And Jack Davidson, that you can finally tell your left foot from your right. But in the heat, in the fear, in the madness of swab summer, we didn't just endure. We forged a bond that nothing could break. Babe Ruth once said, "You just can't beat the person who never gives up." And if there is one thing that defines the class of 2025, it's this: we never gave up on ourselves or on each other. After that summer came our academic war zone. We pulled plenty of all-nighters in Mac Hall, fueled by group chats, stress, and more energy drinks than anyone should probably consume, but we got it done. Some of us in impressive ways. Jack Steele, he managed to fall asleep in the middle of cracking open an energy drink, then wake up from REM sleep just in time to answer a question correctly. That was actually unreal. After that school year, we thought we'd earned a break and said we boarded Coast Guard cutter Eagle. Warship might be a stretch, but based on what we endured, that came pretty close to accurate. We were told we'd sail to South America, maybe even Brazil, but instead we got the Atlantic coast, a broken generator, and the kind of humidity that makes you question your life decisions. Seasickness hit hard. We all ignored the bolded line on the seasickness patches that said, "Do not touch eyes after applying." After a few hours, our eyes were so dilated, I'm not sure we could tell the difference between a kayak and an oil tanker. Not our finest moment, but together we fought through the discomfort and the delirium, and we found moments that made it all worth the sacrifice. Watching the stars stretch across the open ocean, jumping into the Gulf of America, learning to navigate by the stars and with each other. And just when we thought we caught our breath, another challenge came our way. Second class cadre summer. COVID's ripple effects, they were real. And while the class of 2024 bore the brunt, we carried the aftermath. We trained swabs who had missed years of structure. We didn't just yell. We led with grace. We adapted. We guided them. And we lifted that class because we refused to let them fall. That same spirit showed up everywhere. Militarily, we made history, amending policies to improve cadet life, led by Mary Murgott, whose heart-driven leadership reminded us it is not about recognition, it's about the people. Musically, Joe Church kept us in rhythm, while Garrett Bragg and his cover band called Spit somehow managed to unite our class under one roof and sell out an entire venue. Athletically, Chase Randall became a national champion in wrestling, Colin Twist in swimming, and Grace Flynn, she took on the nearly impossible task of competing in all 3 sports seasons, and she not only rose to that occasion, she dominated. These weren't just wins. They were proof of what's possible for all of us when we push our limits and we believe in each other. But let's be honest, sometimes together we fight took on a different meaning. We fought in friendships. We fought over who got the better side of the room. We fought over poorly divided group projects. And yes, even in love. But we always found our way back. And that kind of unity, it's rare. And it's why we will be unstoppable in the fleet. And while we faced battles together, as a class, each of us was also fighting something individually. And yet, despite it all, we showed up because we each had a reason. For me, my mom who battled cancer and taught me what courage looks like. My dad who worked 4 jobs to make sure we never went without. My 2 brothers who looked out for me before I ever wore a uniform. Class of 2025, take a moment and look back. The people sitting there are the reason many of us made it to this stage. To those who answered our calls, supported us in the doubt, and reminded us of our worth. Thank you. Behind every cadet story is a quiet armada of support. And now I leave you with this. Doubt has 5 letters, but so does faith. Failure has 7 letters, but so does courage. And loss has 4 letters, but so does home. And a home is what we built here together. And now, even as we scatter across our beautiful country and operate in increasingly contested waters, we are still one family. Congratulations, class of 2025. We started together, we failed together, we grew together, and together we will continue to fight. Thank you. It is now my privilege to introduce the Acting Commandant of the Coast Guard, Admiral Kevin E. Lunday.
Okay, that's going to be a tough set of remarks to follow. Hey, good afternoon, everyone. What an amazing Coast Guard day. Secretary Nome, Mr. Planky, Rear Admiral Johnston, our Academy community, parents, family, friends, and the members of the class of 2025. Linda Lee and I are so honored to be here with you today. Madam Secretary, thank you and President Trump for your inspiring leadership and your remarkable advocacy for our U.S. Coast Guard and our Coast Guard men and women. And thank you for the direction you've set for our service in the future. Mr. Planky, our Senior Advisor to the Secretary for the Coast Guard, welcome home. Thank you for your transformational leadership and your vision and your lifetime commitment to public service. Under the leadership of our Commander-in-Chief and the Secretary, we are unwavering in our resolve to deliver mission results to protect the homeland, ensure Coast Guard readiness today, and prepare our service for the future. To our parents, family, and friends, thank you for laying the foundation for these graduates and for your enduring love, motivation, and support. And finally, to the class of 2025, you entered Chase Hall 200 weeks ago as individuals. You depart today as military officers, bound together by a shared sense of purpose and a commitment to serve our great nation with honor, respect, and devotion to duty. You are the next link in our chain, a vital part of our long blue line. Our service is at a pivotal moment, a time of profound challenges and unprecedented opportunity. Thank you for stepping forward to lead at this most consequential time in our history, a time when the Coast Guard is more in demand than ever before. We are on the edge of transformational change, and we will become a stronger, more capable, and more agile force to meet the challenges ahead. Together, we will lead that change. Today, you will graduate from one of the most prestigious institutions in the world, and you'll receive a commission as an officer in the finest military service in the world, the United States Coast Guard. Your commission comes from the authority that is rooted in Article 2 of the Constitution. Now, we do a lot of things, almost everything, through the chain of command, except for this. Your commission is a direct grant of constitutional authority from the Commander-in-Chief to you as an individual. As commissioned officers, your duty is to lead brave Coast Guard men and women in a dangerous and unforgiving maritime environment to get the mission done and to safely return. The Coast Guard Academy has prepared generations of Coast Guard officers to succeed, and you will live up to the highest traditions and standards of this institution and service. Of that, I have no doubt. Class of 2025, my charge to you is this. You must lead as if your lives depend on it. Your lives may depend on it, but for certain the lives of the young men and women that you are charged with leading, their lives will depend on it. And the lives of the American people that we serve, their lives will depend on it as we protect and we defend this great nation. Take the best care of the Coast Guard of men and women in your charge, and do that with every ounce of energy that you have. And always maintain the sacred trust of the American people we serve by your oath to support and defend the Constitution. Semper Paratus. Now, someone who has done all of those things is Mr. Sean Planky. Mr. Planky is a national leader in cybersecurity, having served at the highest levels of our government and in the private sector. He's a retired Coast Guard officer and combat veteran of Afghanistan, and he currently is an Army soldier and non-commissioned officer in the 1st City Troop of Philadelphia. He has been nominated by the President to be the Director of the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. But before all of that, Mr. Sean Planky sat where you sit now on May 21st, 2003, and received his commission as a Coast Guard officer just as you will moments from now. I am honored to welcome to the podium our Senior Advisor to the Secretary for the Coast Guard, Mr. Sean Planky.
Good morning, Secretary Noem, Admiral Lunday, Admiral Johnston, distinguished guests, families, friends, and most importantly, Class of 2025. The Coast Guard Academy produces the best leaders in America. No matter what end of the class you're on, you are the next generation of leaders that will win future fights for America and spearhead the generational change we're creating in the United States Coast Guard. Under President Trump and Secretary Noem's leadership, we are revolutionizing the service, and we are excited for you to join the fleet and drive this change. 22 years ago, I sat here as a proud member of the Class of 2003, the great Class of 2003, another odd year. This moment, 4 years in the making, will change your life forever. Today, you leave New London, Connecticut as a graduate of the greatest military institution in the nation, and with the honor of a lifetime to serve as a commissioned officer in the finest maritime fighting force in the world. First and foremost, you walk out of here a leader. Our nation expects our military, you, to lead, fight, and win. So my charge to you today is simple. Lead first, never stop fighting, always win. Congratulations, Class of 2025. We are honored today to be joined here by the 8th Secretary of Homeland Security and our greatest advocate that we could possibly ask for, the Honorable Secretary Kristi Noem. Madam Secretary, thank you for leading our service into the future. Thank you for your support and your leadership to make the Coast Guard even stronger, bigger, and better, and truly be the finest fighting force. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our commencement speaker, Secretary Kristi Noem.
Well, good morning. It is an honor to be with all of you. You are rock stars. Thank you so much for all that you've done to step up and to serve our country and to lead with vision. Years and years ago, I had a gentleman tell me, never get angry on behalf of someone, never get angry on behalf of yourself. Always get angry on behalf of other people. And he also said to me in that same conversation that I had with him, he said, a leader with no followers is just a man out for a walk. And when I look out at this crowd of leaders, I want you to know that you will have an opportunity that few people get in this world. You will have an opportunity to lead and to cast a vision. And we all know that Scripture tells us that without a vision, the people perish. You are people that are stepping into a time of consequence. You will be people of significance. You will be people that will change people's lives because of what you have the opportunity to do, how you will serve them, and how you will make sure that when consequences come that affect your people, that affect the United States of America, you will get angry on their behalf, that you will step up and that you will lead and that you will present the vision that the United States of America is. This day today is a very big deal. It's a very big deal for all of you, but for your families, but also for this country. Today you graduate after years of hard work, after surviving the swab summer, setting sail for weeks on Eagle, Physics 2, and what may have seemed like endless hours of drill on the parade field. You are more than just a graduating class. You're commissioning into the Coast Guard at the most exciting and at the most promising time that we've seen in decades. You're the first graduating class of a brand new Coast Guard. You're the next generation of Americans that are the finest maritime fighting force that we've had or that we've ever seen before. But this moment means so much more than just a diploma and a handshake. You know, when President Trump asked me to serve as the Secretary of Homeland Security, the goal was very simple. Our mission is to make America safe again, and to do so with honor and with integrity. A top priority of that goal is transforming the United States Coast Guard. In fact, I remember having many conversations with President Trump, and one of them most recently about the Coast Guard. And he said to me, Christy, as we sat in the Oval Office, what do they need? And I said, sir, they need everything. They've been neglected for too long. They need cutters. They need airframe. They need infrastructure that supports that. They need training and equipment. They need more coasties out there serving alongside of them, and sir, they are the point of the spear in our national defense. They are the key elite group that will lead our other military branches into the future and secure our country, not just here on our coastlines, participating with our military, but they will lead across the world in how they conduct missions with our Navy, our Army, our defense forces, everywhere that they go. And he said, Christy, make sure we get them what they need. Get them the future that they need. Now, I want to share with you today what part of President Trump's vision is for the future of this force. With your help, President Trump and I are going to make America's Coast Guard the strongest, the most capable, the also most effective military service in the entire government. I have traveled across the United States and I've seen the Coast Guard at work. They've been protecting our country from Alaska to Miami, New York, San Diego. I've met with many Coast Guard men and women, and I've heard from them about your heritage, your dedication, your patriotism, and all of your devotion to duty. I've also gained an understanding of what you need, and I've heard it from people on the front lines, people that are doing the work every single day to provide security. Those needs represent the biggest Coast Guard readiness crisis that we have seen since World War II. You were 10% short of your enlisted workforce. Ships we had sailing with 75% of their crew. Many of these ships are old, they're outdated, they have obsolete technology. Aircraft were grounded because we operated them long past their service life, and shore infrastructure was crumbling. Ladies and gentlemen, that may have been the Coast Guard of the past, but that will not be the Coast Guard of the future. A new chapter for America's Coast Guard, one like we have never seen before, starts right now. Under my confirmation, I directed the service to begin the largest transformation since the modern formation of the service was established in 1915. We call it Force Design 2028. Force Design 2028 is our roadmap to revolutionize the Coast Guard. And today we're going to begin implementing that bold blueprint. Force Design 2028 focuses on 4 different campaigns: on people, organization, acquisition, contracting, and technology. We're going to build a more agile, capable, and responsive fighting force. To do this, we will improve training systems. We'll boost access to medical care, modernize both the Coast Guard Reserve and the civilian management system. We will reorganize the service, and we're going to be more effective and capable in ensuring that the Coast Guard will always be ready to meet the challenges of the 21st century. As part of this campaign, the service will reduce the number of its admirals by 25% so that we can return the decision-making to the front line, where it belongs. We will develop a high-velocity acquisition and contracting system. This new system will rapidly deliver equipment and resources to the services that needs it to fulfill its commitment to the American people. We'll accelerate the adoption of secure, cutting-edge technologies that are fit for the challenges of our future. And these changes will define the Coast Guard that you will lead. You're coming into the Coast Guard at a better time in history than it's ever seen before. Now, President Trump and I are deeply committed to protecting and to defending this nation. We recognize that the Coast Guard's vital role in our safety and security is paramount. We are growing the number of icebreakers to meet the demands associated with the Arctic region, and we're focusing on recruiting, and we're succeeding. Admiral Lundy tells me that the Coast Guard has already exceeded its annual recruitment goal by 108%. So far this year, the Coast Guard has recruited more than 4,700 new members, 1,200 more than the same time last year. And over the last 4 years and the next 4 years, we will grow the service by at least 15,000 new personnel. There's never been a more exciting time to enter the fleet. So I'd like to offer you something as you step forward today. 5 different reflections from me personally. Lessons that I have learned over my lifetime that I wish I would have known at your age, and lessons that I hope you carry forward with you in your noble service. Number 1, that you are needed. Now, I would say that as I was growing up, I grew up as someone who didn't necessarily know I had any gifts or talents to offer the world, but I want each of you to know that you do. Each of you brings something special and unique to the Coast Guard. I realize that our armed forces prioritize discipline, precision, unity, but each of you has a special gift, a unique talent. Use those, let those shine. Use those to serve others and to do your job and your duty that you have assigned to you within this Coast Guard fleet. Use your talents to find special ways to contribute to our nation's safety, our security, and our prosperity. And of that note, I do want to give a couple of shout outs to some of the incredible achievements that we've seen out of this class. I know Parker Madden and Wyatt Duthu both reached 100 career hits in baseball. Where are they at? I heard they stand up, be recognized. Awesome. You guys aren't a little competitive, are you? You're sitting a little far apart. Declan Rooney reached 1,000 career points in basketball and was named to the New Mac All-Conference team. Where's he at? Stand up. Nice work. In women's basketball, we had Glory Bethan set the Coast Guard record in career blocks. Where is she at? Nice work. And Caitlin Coates set school records in goals scored and points in women's lacrosse. Stand up. This year, Samuel Humphreys received the Dale G. Gable Scholarship Award for the highest proficiency in math, science, and engineering coursework. Where is he at? Nice. and the Fulbright grant to attend graduate school at the Arctic University of Norway went to Elise Boschiman. Is she here? You're all a bunch of overachievers. Thank you so much for setting the bar so high. Whether your accomplishments are in sports, academia, or something else, your skills will prove valuable in your service. There will always be a role for you to play. It may be something that you don't even expect, but it will be exactly what you were meant to do. Number two, the second thing I'd like to leave with you today is I wonder if any of you have ever been in a vehicle, driving down the road, and you realize your car is not functioning properly. It jerks, something's wrong, you're not quite sure why, you can't turn the corners properly, it's sticking, something's wrong, and then you look down and you realize you have the emergency brake on. Have anybody ever done that before? I have. Come on, be honest, you can't lie at your own graduation. And then you take the emergency brake off and you're just shocked at how well your car drives. It's like it's amazing, and you just can't believe that you just did that. Well, I want to encourage you in life to take your emergency brake off. There's so many things in our lives that hold us back. It might be our insecurities. Maybe we think we aren't smart enough, strong enough, or outgoing enough. There's something in your life that always causes you to hesitate to take that next opportunity, go for that leadership position, take on that new challenge. Whatever it is in your life that is your emergency brake, I'm going to encourage you to take that off today. Let it go. Whatever opportunity comes your way, just say yes. Go do it. You have no idea what will happen to you if you attend that meeting, take on that assignment, that new challenge leadership role. You might learn that you have a gift or talent you didn't know that you had before. You might meet somebody there that changes your life forever. It might be your business partner someday, your new husband or wife, or somebody that becomes your mentor. Take off your emergency brake and go and enjoy life and have confidence in who you are and what you have to offer. Now, Johann von Goethe, a great German author and statesman, once wrote, "Dream no small dreams, for they have no power to move the hearts of men." This country was founded by brave men and women who dreamed the huge dream of a nation founded on the principle of freedom. This Coast Guard has been built and strengthened by the dreams of men and women working to save lives. So what will you dream? What will you build, invent, create, fix, teach, heal, or protect? The Coast Guard needs you to dream those big dreams. Our nation needs you to build and to dream those big dreams. What dream will come next for you? Only you get to decide that. That's the power and the duty of freedom. Now, number three, quit being in such a hurry. Lessons that you have every single day that were taught here, you wanted to hurry up and get through them because they were challenging, because they were something that you wanted to get on to the next big thing. But not being in a hurry allows you to learn more, to build relationships, and to be people that aren't constantly rushing to get to the next thing, but are fully present in what they're accomplishing that day. I'm fascinated by the story of Edith Monroe. Now, you all know the story of her son, Douglas Monroe, the only Coast Guardsman to ever be awarded the Medal of Honor. But just as incredible in its own way is the fact that his mother, Edith, decided to join the Coast Guard after he gave what President Lincoln called the last full measure of devotion to this country. Edith Monroe took the oath to join the Coast Guard's Women's Reserve just 2 hours after she accepted the Medal of Honor on her son's behalf from President Franklin Roosevelt. She was 48 years old when she joined. When asked why she decided to join the Coast Guard, she said, "We are a Coast Guard family through Doug. He loved his service, and I am very happy to be eligible to serve in it." She was certainly in no hurry to join the Coast Guard, but she joined when she knew it was the right thing to do. She didn't think it was too late. You will do great things. You might feel called, but you might not feel ready to be sent yet. Like Edith Monroe, your moment will come. It might be today, it might be when you're 28, it might be when you're 48 to take on that next challenge. But when that moment comes, seize it, grab it, take a hold of it, and you will win and win that challenge. Now, number 4, life is built on the power of relationships. You may have had people in your life that have told you your entire life that education is the most important thing that you could accomplish. They may tell you that whatever job is out there or what you will do will define who you are. What I will tell you is that the world still moves on relationships, that the people that you meet, that you spend time with, will help you make the connections that will make you be successful. I want to tell you a story about a very special woman to me that I met years ago when I was at a meeting in Montana. She walked up to me and we were having a nice conversation, and she happened to have on this beautiful bracelet that had pearls on it, and I commented on it and I said, "I like your bracelet." And she said, "Well, let me tell you about why I always wear pearls." She said, "I wear pearls because they're the only precious gem that's made from a living creature." She said, "And it's made from going through something hard. When the oyster gets a piece of sand into it, it hurts. It causes it great pain. But it works on that hard pain and challenge to form something around it that ends up turning it into something that's beautiful, turns it into something precious." And she used that opportunity to tell me about her Christian faith and about how Jesus can take your life that's hurtful and painful and challenging and turn it into something beautiful. But I also have applied that to things in life that are hard and difficult. I happen to be raised by a father who's a cowboy, who gave us impossible things to do. And many days I thought, he's not trying to raise us children, he's trying to kill us children with all the work that he gave us. But I realized years later that the reason that Dad gave us so many hard things to do, because when we accomplished those impossible tasks, we became problem solvers. And when we got through a challenge that was difficult, we didn't think we could do, it gave us the confidence to take on the next hardest thing. For some reason, this generation of Americans has decided that going through hard things is bad or wrong. I would tell you the exact opposite thing. Hard things are good. Challenges teach you who you are. They turn you into being a problem solver, and they give you the confidence to take on the next difficult thing. So whether it is something that you have in your life that you carry with you, for me, ever since that lady told me the story, I've always worn something that has a pearl on it to represent that life is hard. Sometimes my job is hard. Sometimes our family has challenges. But we can take those hard things and turn something precious into it. Something that living creatures go through that we can turn into something that will be cherished forever and that we can use as a testimony to the kind of people that we can be if we accomplish them and persevere through them. It's people more than tasks or titles that are going to shape your journey in life. Take on the challenges and make sure you build those relationships. The last thing I want to leave you with today is to always remember to say thank you. You all have professors here, you have parents and family members, other loved ones who helped you make it to this point. You all have classmates and peers who stayed up late. They helped you study for tests, they helped you get over some kind of an obstacle in training, and there's someone that you need to thank today. Maybe when you leave here, you pick up the phone and call that individual. Think of the one person who kept showing up for you, even when you doubted yourself. So find that person today, whether they're here or if you need to write them a letter or call them on the telephone, say a heartfelt thank you. Gratitude is powerful, and it pays dividends. Because we woke up in this country today, we are more blessed than 99% of the people in this world because we woke up in the United States of America. Now, our nation is facing unprecedented threats to our national security. With incredible men and women like you joining our Coast Guard, I am confident that the American people will be safe. Take these lessons as you become officers in a military service that is more in demand than ever before. The American people expect you to win, and they need our country to win. When you stop deadly drugs from reaching our shores, you save Americans from addiction and overdose, and you spare families from being ripped apart. When you work to secure our maritime trade from the threats of communist China, you not only protect our nation's economy, you secure our future. When you rescue those stranded at sea, you save lives. And when you sail icebreakers into the harsh and the unforgiving Arctic, you make our nation more secure. Your bravery, your dedication, your selflessness are reflected in your motto, Semper Paratus, always ready. Whether you leave here today to go to a cutter, if you go to flight school, a sector, defend our nation, maybe in the cyber domain area or anywhere else, you will be challenged. But leadership is not for the faint of heart. 2 Timothy tells us that God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and a sound mind. He has given you sound minds that make good decisions. Use them. And then look out on this field. I am confident that each and every one of you will rise to the occasion and that you'll meet those challenges. As you graduate today, know that you are ready and that we need you to be. Our Commander-in-Chief, President Donald J. Trump, supports you. As your secretary, I will always have your back. And I'm confident that you will support the American people. May God bless you, and God continue to bless the great United States of America. Congratulations. I want you to stay standing for a moment because I've got a big announcement to make. We were not planning to do this yesterday, but we did get approval from President Trump in the Oval Office yesterday to announce the new leadership team that will be leading the Coast Guard into the future. This is exciting news for all of you, as this leadership team has the vision to implement Force Design 2028 and to be examples to all of you as you take on this unprecedented time in Coast Guard history. I'm proud to announce that today Admiral Kevin Lunday will be the new Commandant of the U.S. Coast Guard. Commandant. Congratulations, Commandant. Thomas Allen will be the Vice Commandant of the Coast Guard, recommended for promotion to Admiral. Give him a round of applause. Today, I'm also privileged to announce a promotion of Deputy Commandant for Operations Vice Admiral Nathan Moore. And Joanne Burdian as Atlantic Area Commander, recommended for promotion to Vice Admiral. Congratulations, Joanne. As your new Pacific Area Commander, recommended for promotion to Vice Admiral, Joseph Bozzella. And for the new position of Chief of Staff, recommended for promotion to Vice Admiral, Douglas Schofield. I learned long ago that leadership has consequences. It matters who's in charge. It matters not just to the people that they lead, but it also sets an example for others across the communities, the states, and the nation in which they serve. These leaders have the full faith and trust of me. They have the full faith and trust of the President of the United States, and I am certain that they will not let us down. Congratulations to all of you, and welcome to your new leadership roles.
Will the audience please be seated? On behalf of the Coast Guard Academy, thank you, Madam Secretary, for being with us here today and honoring the Academy and the Coast Guard with your presence. I would now like to present the United States Coast Guard Band, conducted by Captain Adam Williamson, who will perform the Armed Forces Medley, as arranged by Chief Musician Sean Nelson. All past and present members of the military are invited to stand as the band plays their respective anthem. The United States Army. United States Marine Corps. United States Navy. United States Air Force. United States Space Force. The United States Coast Guard. Seats, please. Thank you, Captain Williamson and members of the Coast Guard Band. At this time, I am pleased to introduce Dr. Amy Donahue, Provost and Chief Academic Officer, who will share remarks and present the candidates for degrees.
Madam Secretary, Mr. Planky, Commandant, Admiral Johnson, and the great class of 2025. Oh, hello, class of 2025. I remember you. I remember you as swabs on Eagle. heading up and over for the first time and spending some quality time on the rail. I remember you marching in your first drill, getting your class flag, attending your first formal, briefing an admiral for the first time. I remember you taking calculus, and some of you taking it again. I remember your trials and your errors, your successes and your stumbles. And here you are today, 200 weeks later, after a journey of late nights, tough assignments, and hard-won victories. You have written mountains of papers, taken scores of exams, attended literally thousands of hours of classes, marched and run hundreds of miles, and sailed thousands more. God knows how many pizzas you have consumed. This has been a crucible. It has taken all the discipline and sweat and study you put in and combined it with the experience and guidance and instruction we have contributed to forge you as people with the courage, character, and capability to lead our service and serve our world. So welcome, class of 2025. Welcome to this day, a benchmark in your life that you and your families will recall forever as an indelible moment of triumph and promise. Triumph for yourselves and promise for your future and that of the nation. You are joining an officer corps at a rare moment, a time of historic change, and you will be right in the thick of it. This is really exciting, and it is also really hard. People do not like change. Just try moving a photocopier or a coffee maker and see what happens. Shifting how the Coast Guard operates is many orders of magnitude more difficult. As Captain B.H. Liddell Hart famously said, the only thing harder than getting a new idea into a military mind is getting an old one out. But failure to change will leave the Coast Guard ineffective and irrelevant, and our nation cannot afford that. This is where you come in. You will build the Coast Guard's future. You are smart and will not remain enamored with good ideas after they are spoiled by new data. You have courage and will not fear challenging questions. You are thoughtful and will uphold the truth even when it's uncomfortable. You are passionate and will do the doing while everyone else is fretting. You have the endurance to persist and see this work through. I acknowledge that great expectations like this can be daunting, and I suspect some of you may be wondering exactly what you've gotten yourselves into and whether it's too late to run away. I imagine you may be feeling eager and excited about what's ahead, but naturally a bit overwhelmed, apprehensive, and nervous. If you focus on the job before you and pay attention to doing the right things and doing things right, you will succeed. For the most part, it's not momentous acts, but small choices that will propel the service forward. Just do your job every day, and it will matter. However gnarly the mission or demanding the assignment, you know how to work hard, do what you say you're going to do, and look after the people around you. Basic professionalism and competence are the foundations of real success and are the very things that make our service so effective and respected. When those bars hit your shoulders this afternoon, you will feel the weight of responsibility that comes with the uniform you wear. Every day, you will know how crucial to the health and security of the world our service is, how much the Coast Guard matters to the vital fight for freedom and democracy. Without question, the challenges ahead are extreme. They demand leaders with capabilities and knowledge equal to difficult and dangerous work. Leaders undaunted by uncertainty, biased to act, and who know how to solve problems. Leaders who are adroit thinkers and agile learners, who can make judgments in the face of urgent needs, judgments on which lives depend every day. Here at the Coast Guard Academy, we produce those leaders. Our military, academic, athletic, and leader development programs unite to deliver what no other college in the nation does. I remember you, class of 2025. You're the ones that could have taken an easier road, but you didn't. You came here to earn your Bachelor of Science degree and commission in the United States Coast Guard. When the going does get tough for you, as it has before and absolutely will again, never doubt that you are ready. We are certain you have gained the resourcefulness you need to succeed. Education is not merely the acquisition of knowledge, but the forging of character. It is preparation for the manifold challenges ahead wherever you encounter them, whether on the high seas or in the halls of governance. The education you earned here will persist, and you will rely on it long after you've forgotten what you were taught. And I do mean earned. We don't give you this degree. You have done the work required to claim it, and we are proud of you. The attainments of our students are our greatest reward. Our graduates are the emblems of our success, the results of our very best efforts. You are our service to the nation, and the proof that the work we devote our lives to is worth it. So thank you, class of 2025, for doing what it took to arrive at this day, for all you have given and will give to the nation we serve. Thank you, parents and families, for your support and devotion to these special people. I am honored to be among the first to commend you all on your success. And now the moment has come. This is the last time someone is going to tell you what to do as a college student, and it is my great privilege to do so. Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science please rise? Rear Admiral Johnston, as Provost and Chief Academic Officer, I have the honor of presenting to you the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science. They have been examined and approved by the faculty.
By the virtue of the authority vested in me, I now confer upon each of you the degree of Bachelor of Science and admit you all to all the rights and privileges thereunto. Congratulations, class of 2025. Well done.
Class of 2025, please be seated. I am now pleased to introduce Captain Edward Hernandez, the United States Coast Guard Academy's 38th Commandant of Cadets, who will present the candidates for commissioning as ensigns in the United States Coast Guard.
Thanks, Master Chief. Madam Secretary, Mr. Planky, Commandant Lunday, Rear Admiral Johnston, ladies and gentlemen, and members of the class of 2025. Good afternoon. Admiral Lunday, as the Commandant of Cadets, I have the honor of presenting to you the candidates for the commission of ensign in the United States Coast Guard. They have met all military requirements and have successfully demonstrated competency as leaders of character in the Academy's 200-week leader development program. At this time, I invite you to administer the oath of office to those being commissioned in the United States Coast Guard. Platform party, please rise.
For those who will be commissioned, stand and raise your right hand. Repeat after me. Having been appointed an ensign in the United States Coast Guard, I do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I'm about to enter. So help me God. Congratulations.
Ensigns, please be seated. Thank you, Admiral Lede. We will now present the graduating class with their diplomas and commissions. As each graduate approaches the platform today, she or he is being presented with a gift by the Coast Guard Academy Alumni Association. Presenting the Class of 2025 Challenge Coin will be Captain Andrea Marcial, U.S. Coast Guard retired, and the Class of 2025's Link of the Chain representative, Mr. Dennis Hardacker. Coast Guard Academy Class of 1975. The degrees of Bachelor of Science will be presented by the Superintendent, Rear Admiral Michael Johnston. Commissions as ensigns in the Coast Guard will be presented by the Secretary of Homeland Security, the Honorable Christy Noem. And the Commandant of Cadets, Captain Edward Hernandez, will announce the name, major, and unit to which each new ensign is assigned.
Platform party, seats please. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my deep personal honor to name each graduate, their academic major, and the future assignment. Since its founding in 1876, the United States Coast Guard Academy has graduated leaders of character in service to our nation. Out of respect for each graduate, please hold all sounds of acknowledgement and applause until the last graduate has crossed the stage. At that time, we will give them a thunderous round of applause they so richly deserve. All right, class of 2025, here we go. Matthew Allen Abate, Electrical Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter, Weishi. Nathan Patrick Aim, Management, Coast Guard Cutter, Sequoia. Tabitha Patrice Aim, Government, Coast Guard Cutter, Joseph Gerzak. Avis Doe Akers, Mechanical Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter, Stratton. Santino Francis Allentuck, Electrical Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter, Alex Haley. Aiden James Anderson, Electrical Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter, Mohawk. Hayden Edward Anderson, Government, Coast Guard Cutter, Richard Snyder. Emma Jane Ruth Andrus, Mechanical Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter, Stone. Joseph Andrew Armentrout, Management, Coast Guard Cutter, Angela McShann. Solomon Hunter Ashby III, Civil Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter, Lawrence Lawson. Palmer Allen Ashley, Civil Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter, Ventures. Alexander Levi Baggy, Civil Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Aspen. Ryan Joseph Bernard, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Nia Bay. Jonathan Robert Barrett, Mechanical Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Kimball. Grant Christopher Baeza, Civil Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Mohawk. Grace Elizabeth Beardsley, Management, Sector Miami. Elise Marie Holly Boschman, Marine and Environmental Science, Coast Guard Cutter Kakui. Natalie Jean Beck, Civil Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter James. Finn Christopher Bediamal, Operations Research and Data Analytics, Coast Guard Cutter Alder. Owen Cromwell Berger, Management, Coast Guard Cutter Willow. Nico Valente Barrios, Management, Base Miami. Cohen Henry Bland, Cyber Systems, Base Seattle. Glory Ann Blethen, Management, Coast Guard Cutter Northland. Kyle William Bowe, Cyber Systems, Coast Guard Cutter Monroe. Oliver John Bolton, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Vigorous. Garrett Joseph Bragg, Management, Coast Guard Cutter Diligence. Jasmine Marie Brandon, Mechanical Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Mackinac. Magnum Payne Brandt, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Stratton. Genevieve Lily Brewer, Mechanical Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Isaac Mayo. Emma Rose Briggs, Government, Coast Guard Cutter John Patterson. Cameron Underwood Brown, Management, Coast Guard Cutter Katmai Bay. Cleveland Earl Brown, Government, Coast Guard Cutter Forward. Ethan George Brown, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Bear. Roseanne Patricia Brown, Government, Coast Guard Cutter Berthoff. Mackenzie Marie Bucky, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Douglas Dedman. Nicholas Scott Butler, Government, Coast Guard Cutter Northland. Amelia Dale Campbell, Government, Coast Guard Cutter Hamilton. Thomas John Carney, Civil Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Midget. Jillian Cassio, Cyber Systems, Coast Guard Cutter Florence Finch. James Robert Chase, Government, Coast Guard Cutter Stratton. Brandon Patrick Chung, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Basic Flight. Alejandro Juan Christopher, Civil Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Alex Haley. Joseph James Church, Cyber Systems, Coast Guard Cutter Benjamin Bottoms. Jonathan Travis Clifford, Operations Research and Data Analytics, Coast Guard Cutter Escanaba. Caitlin Eve Coates, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Thetis. Charles August Cook, Management, Coast Guard Cutter Cyprus. William Aubrey Corey, Mechanical Engineering, Basic Flight. Abraham Noah Countryman, Management, Coast Guard Cutter Vigorous. Benjamin Edward Kutu, Operations Research and Data Analytics, Coast Guard Cutter Oliver Berry. Jack Mills Davidson, Government, Coast Guard Cutter William Sparling. Connor Daniel Hassog, Decatur, Government, Sector New Orleans. Emma May Deary, Marine and Environmental Science, Coast Guard Cutter Campbell. Michaela Annie DeGenero, Marine and Environmental Science, Coast Guard Cutter Midget. Jack Fitzgerald Derry, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Campbell. Avery Elise Dressbeck, Government, Coast Guard Cutter Vigilant. Gustava Elizabeth Engman Drew, Mechanical Engineering, Basic Flight. Wyatt James Duthu, Cyber Systems, Sector Mobile. Bodie Ray Dykens, Mechanical Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Mackinac. Sean Alexander Edgehill, Government, Coast Guard Cutter Calhoun. Augustus Cole Edwards, Civil Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter James. James Bennett Eichelberg, Government, Coast Guard Cutter Erobito Hernandez. Martha Mary Bennisbeth, Operations Research and Data Analytics, Basic Flight. Paige Lauren Filkins, Operations Research and Data Analytics, Coast Guard Cutter Hickory. Grace Elizabeth Flynn, Management, Basic Flight. Nicholas Folks, Marine and Environmental Science, Jamaican Defense Force, Coast Guard. Kayla Amara France, Government, Coast Guard Cutter Oak. Jesse Lauren French, Government. Connor Wesley Fulbright, Cyber Systems, Coast Guard Cyber. Juan Arturo Garcia, Cyber Systems, Coast Guard Cutter Willow. Kira Renee Garcia, Management, Base Charleston. John Rex Adong Gaviola, Mechanical Engineering, Philippine Coast Guard. Xaviera Corinne Geisen, Government, Base Portsmouth. Blake Thomas George, Mechanical Engineering, Basic Flight. Dominic Shelton Gilbert, Cyber Systems, Base Alameda. Benjamin Scott Gingrich, Management, Station Seattle. Senan Michael Gorman, Management, Coast Guard Cutter Monroe. Christian David Gossage, Civil Engineering Unit, Honolulu. Stone Harrison Branch, Management, Coast Guard Cutter Tahoma. Anna Catherine Green, Civil Engineering Unit, Honolulu. Madeline Keeley Green, Marine and Environmental Science, Coast Guard Cutter Polar Star. Derek Michael Griffin, Management. Coast Guard Cutter Seneca. Eli Hunter Griffin, Government. Coast Guard Cutter Angela McShann. James Madison Griswold, Government. Coast Guard Cutter Kimball. Ella Elizabeth Grizzle, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Sector Houston Galveston. Ronald Charles Gruen, Civil Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Melvin Bell. Jaime John Gustafson, Marine and Environmental Science, Coast Guard Cutter Thetis. Kelly Eileen Haggerty, Government, Coast Guard Cutter Stratton. Caleb Anthony Hammond, Operations Research and Data Analytics. Maureen Alexis Hammond, Marine and Environmental Science, Sector Eastern Great Lakes. Catherine Grace Harding, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Surface Forces Logistics Center, Charleston. Sarah Rose Hardy, Marine and Environmental Science, Coast Guard Cutter Bristol Bay. Gracie Rose Hare, Marine and Environmental Science, Coast Guard Cutter Campbell. Jason Jiaming Harrington, Operations Research and Data Analytics, Coast Guard Cyber. Andrew James Harris, Mechanical Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Reliance. Jeffrey Edward Hartung, Electrical Engineering, Surface Forces Logistics Center, Norfolk. Brian Manuel Hernandez Andrade, Mechanical Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Weishi. Adrian Russell Herron, Civil Engineering, Surface Forces Logistics Center, Alameda. Alexandra Noel Herron, Civil Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Monroe. Ashley Danielle Hickman, Operations Research and Data Analytics, Sector Columbia River. Ellie Jean Heestand, Government, Basic Flight. Margarita Dijon, Marine and Environmental Science, Coast Guard Cutter Juniper. Madeline Grace Hodges, Marine and Environmental Science, Base Honolulu. Celia Delphin Houston, Management, Basic Flight. Kira Sky Howard, Marine and Environmental Science, Coast Guard Cutter Elm. Samuel Jacob Humphreys, Mechanical Engineering, Basic Flight. Ryan McWilliams Hunter, Management, Coast Guard Cutter James. Kira Ming Hutchinson Lunde, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Kimball. Darsha Irugul Bandara, Marine and Environmental Science, Sri Lanka Coast Guard. Grayson Marcus Irwin, Government, Coast Guard Cutter Thetis. Rohan S. Iyer, Cyber Systems, Coast Guard Cyber. Janae Beverly Jackson, Management, Coast Guard Cutter Richard Etheridge. Kyle Ronald Jacobson, Management, Coast Guard Cutter Weishi. Hunter Ross Jennings, Management, Coast Guard Cutter Mobile Bay. Kalia Anna Jerkadis, Government, Coast Guard Cutter Pablo Valent. Haley Ann Johns, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Alder. Christian Shipley Johnson, Electrical Engineering, Coast Guard Cyber. Gabriel Brandon Jones, Management, Coast Guard Cutter Escanaba. Tyler Lehman Jones, Management, Coast Guard Cutter Bear. Tatiana Christina Michelle Joseph, Cyber Systems, Coast Guard Cutter Vigorous. Madeline Dorward Joswick, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Venturous. Sarah Yael Katz, Marine and Environmental Science, Sector Lake Michigan. Torin Henry Carney, Cyber Systems, Coast Guard Cutter Maurice Jester. Grace Elizabeth Keogh, Marine and Environmental Science, Coast Guard Cutter Healy. Brennan James King, Government, Coast Guard Cutter Kimball. Philip Matthew Kirby, Government, Coast Guard Cutter Midget. Amanda Rose Knesny, Civil Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Calhoun. Veronica Lynn Christophic, Government, Sector Mobile. Mason Alexander Lafort, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Campbell. Carson Eric Langenbacher, Civil Engineering, Basic Flight. Ryan Anthony Leroy, Government. Ethan David Lasher, Management, Coast Guard Cutter Alerts. Hannah Jade Laudenslager, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Midget. Kira Amber Lay, Government. Jonah Yejun Hiromichi Lee, Operations Research and Data Analytics, Coast Guard Cutter Healy. Charles Thomas Leventhal, Electrical Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Polar Star. Trent Thomas Lewis, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Spencer. Philip Jingfu Liang, Civil Engineering Unit, Miami. Carly Page Lingle, Marine and Environmental Science, Coast Guard Cutter Venturous. Ryan Daniel Lista, Civil Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Resolute. Clara Lena Ala Littlejohn, Marine and Environmental Science, Coast Guard Cutter Midget. Ryan Daniel Lopez, Operations Research and Data Analytics, Coast Guard Cutter Oliver Henry. Chase Alexander Lusk, Government, Coast Guard Cutter Stone. Sean Patrick Lyman, Marine and Environmental Science, Coast Guard Cutter Myrtle Hazard. Emma Lily McGregor, Marine and Environmental Science. Parker Mackenzie Madden, Management, Coast Guard Cutter Oliver Olivia Hooker. Thomas Michael Manley, Civil Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Stone. Julia Kelly Mann, Management, Coast Guard Cutter Active. Luke Thomas Manning, Civil Engineering, Basic Flight. Brendan Keith Marcy, Civil Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Weishi. Sydney Lynn Marquez de la Plata, Electrical Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Vigilant. Kenneth William Mara, Civil Engineering Unit, Providence. Evan Taylor Mason, Electrical Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Spencer. Charlotte Anna McCarthy, Operations Research and Data Analytics, Coast Guard Cutter Mackinac. Fiona Kathleen McCartan, Operations Research and Data Analytics, Base Boston. Patrick Paul McCaskey, Civil Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter James. Dylan Stephen McGill, Electrical Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Alert. Peter Alden McGonigal, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Harriet Lane. Eleanor Marie Burkatoris, Civil Engineering, Basic Flight. Mary Jean Louise Murgot, Government, Coast Guard Cutter Alert. Micah Andrew Messner, Mechanical Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Diligence. Genevieve Lee Middleton, Marine and Environmental Science, Base Miami Beach. Nicholas Frederick Mintz, Management, Coast Guard Cutter Monroe. Mackenzie Lynn Mogul, Government. Nicholas Lee Monahan, Operations Research and Data Analytics, Coast Guard Cutter Monroe. Sarah Ann Moore, Marine and Environmental Science, Coast Guard Cutter Elm. Catherine Mary Morgan, Government, Coast Guard Cutter Sycamore. Logan Patrick Morrissey, Marine and Environmental Science, Coast Guard Cutter Monroe. Riley Ann Mullen, Marine and Environmental Science, Coast Guard Cutter Healy. Reina Olivia Nagata, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Surface Forces Logistics Center, Seattle. Jonathan Hanjun Nam, Government, Coast Guard Cyber. Adam Ray Nazar, Cyber Systems, Coast Guard Cutter Campbell. Luke James Nemsick, Management, Coast Guard Cutter Forward. Daniel Kainoa Neville, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Hamilton. Andrew Gray Nichols, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Resolutes. Gabriel Wolf Niles, Mechanical Engineering. Truman Mac Noble, Civil Engineering. Jonathan Caleb Northcutt, Civil Engineering, Training Center, Cape May. William Henry Nunn, Mechanical Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Northland. Daniel Jonas Nazrati, Electrical Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter William Trump. Michael James O'Brien, Management, Basic Flight. Jalen Isabel O'Hara, Government, Coast Guard Cutter Fur. John Daniel O'Melveny, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Robert Ford. Christina Stevie Orthodoxou, Government, Sector Maryland, National Capital Region. Dennis Joseph O'Shea, Government, Coast Guard Cutter Berthoff. Parker Coley O'Sullivan, Civil Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Bear. Sydney Caitlin Park, Cyber Systems, Coast Guard Cutter Sycamore. Morgan Gabrielle Parrish, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Stone. James Edward Patz II, Management, Coast Guard Cutter Hamilton. Mikel Pinea, Cyber Systems, Coast Guard Cutter William Chadwick. Daniel Todd Pettyjohn, Management, Coast Guard Cutter Venturous. Paige Marie Phillips, Government, Coast Guard Cutter Calhoun. Sydney Christine Phipps, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Stratton. Nathan Crawford Pokris, Operations Research and Data Analytics, Coast Guard Cutter Hollyhock. John Daniel Pond, Civil Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Mohawk. Siamak Shea Porter, Civil Engineering Unit, Miami. Jonathan Tyler Prince, Mechanical Engineering, Basic Flight. John Paul Prosperi, Government, Station New York. Chase Edward Randall, Civil Engineering, Surface Forces Logistics Center, Norfolk. Nicholas Cole Research, Government, Coast Guard Cutter Alert. Philip Nanaikapono Moses Renaud, Mechanical Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Argus. Haley Nicole Reynolds, Management, Coast Guard Cutter Robert Yared. Isabel Ann Roby, Cyber Systems, Coast Guard Cutter William Flores. Ian Spencer Roeder, Cyber Systems, Sector Corpus Christi. Alexander Maxwell Rogers, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Active. Sean Gabriel Rojas, Government, Sector New Orleans. Declan Charles Rooney, Management, Coast Guard Cutter Jacob Peru. Catherine Emerson Rott, Management, Sector Western Alaska and Arctic. Jason Michael Ruggieri, Government, Coast Guard Cutter Diligence. Samuel Donald Safner, Civil Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter John McCormick. Kane Anthony Salin, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Melvin Bell. Sebastian Sanchez, Marine and Environmental Science, Coast Guard Cutter Myrtle Hazard. Jude Armand Sargent, Operations Research and Data Analytics, Coast Guard Cutter James. Emily Ian Charnitsky, Civil Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Diligence. Tylen Mai Schaufelberger, Civil Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Kimball. Coleman Arthur Schofield, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Kimball. Anna Maria Joswan Schur, Marine and Environmental Science, Coast Guard Cutter Donald Horsley. Mattia Davide Jedediah Siatsu, Marine and Environmental Science, Coast Guard Cutter David Durin. Nicholas Martin Selzer, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Forward. Ensign Weber Scaglio, Electrical Engineering, C5I Service Center. Aiden William Shaw, Government, Coast Guard Cutter Tampa. Shannon Catherine Shaw, Marine and Environmental Science, Basic Flight. Marcella Rosabelle Silberger, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Tahoma. James Henry Simon, Cyber Systems, Coast Guard Cutter Spencer. Shauna Marie Sinclair, Government, Jamaican Defense Force, Coast Guard. Forrest Alexander Slaterbeck, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Stone. Laura Megan Slavensky, Government, Coast Guard Cutter Resolute. Lucy Diane Smutney, Civil Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Seneca. Brock Aiden Soletti, Management, Coast Guard Cutter Active. Malik Shakur Song, Management, Coast Guard Cutter Charles Sexton. Sophia Ani Souvenier, Electrical Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter William Hart. Jack Andrew Steele, Government, Coast Guard Cutter Reliance. Laird Roland Strand, Mechanical Engineering, Basic Flight. Sean McMahon Sullivan, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Calhoun. Matthew Sun, Electrical Engineering, Sector New York. Lucas Garrett Tabbitt, Management, Coast Guard Cutter Raymond N. Evans. Delaney Mackenzie Taplin Patterson, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Tahoma.
Let's go down!
Anna Eleanor Tate, Electrical Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Alder. Matthew Gerald Thomas, Management, Coast Guard Cutter Vigilant. Burn, Electrical Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Mohawk. Carson Thomas Throne, Civil Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Reliance. Jace Elizabeth Tipman, Marine and Environmental Science, Coast Guard Cutter Richard Snyder. Grace Elizabeth Tomasek, Government, Coast Guard Cutter James. Carson Wynn Traeger, Operations Research and Data Analytics, Coast Guard Cutter Forrest Rednauer. Sydney Rose Tripke, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Harriet Lane. Colin John Twist, Government, Coast Guard Cutter Stone. Janet Uwamahoro, Operations Research and Data Analytics, Rwanda Defense Force. Bryce Lorenz Vanderweer, Government, Coast Guard Cutter Bear. Riley Elizabeth Vicinanzo, Mechanical Engineering, Basic Flight. Kelsey Ryan Ward, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Harriet Lane. Lane Elizabeth Weber, Government, Coast Guard Cutter Reliance. Kobe Quinton Weiland, Mechanical Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Biscayne Bay. Joshua Clayton West, Electrical Engineering, Coast Guard Cyber. Riley Ann Simone Westervelt, Mechanical Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Healy. John Ryan Weston, Operations Research and Data Analytics, Sector Honolulu. Sophia Diane White, Marine and Environmental Science, Coast Guard Cutter Calhoun. Madison Renee Whitworth, Electrical Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Joseph Tizanos. Brandon Thomas Wonder, Civil Engineering, Coast Guard Cutter Hamilton. Benjamin Lawson Yagi, Management, Coast Guard Cutter Kathleen Moore. Kai Hung Yang, Government. Peter Woojin Yi, Operations Research and Data Analytics, Coast Guard Cutter Edgar Culbertson. Ryan H. Yee, Operations Research and Data Analytics, Sector New York. Grace Charlotte Yokaitis, Government, Sector Boston. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduates of 2025. Let's hear it for them.
Please be seated. Ensign Marcella Silver, President of the Coast Guard Academy Class of 2025, please come to the podium to make a special presentation.
Madam Secretary, on behalf of the Class of 2025, I present to you this token of our appreciation.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the alma mater and remain standing until the conclusion of this ceremony. Lieutenant Paul Song, Chaplain, United States Coast Guard Academy, will now deliver the benediction.
I invite you once again to join me in a moment of blessing. Let us pray. O gladsome light, pure brightness of the everlasting glory, O Lord God, He is truly holy and blessed. Friends, as the sun sets on your time as Coast Guard cadets, and our eyes behold the dawn of your new lives as commissioned officers, may the Lord keep you and watch over you. Remember your loved ones who come to support you near and far. Remember your instructors and mentors who brought you up along the way. Remember your fellow service members who will continue to stand alongside you, committed to an oath that binds us to something greater than ourselves. For across our coast, you have become God's blessing to us all, and may He in turn bless you. Take heart as you depart from here. Be courageous, hold fast to what is true, and never relent in doing what is good and right. And in your need, let help come from above. Let the Lord's hand guide you so that you will not be without hope in all your days. Grace and peace be with you all. Be blessed in the name of the Lord. Amen.
I'm going to blame the weather on this one. All right. Ensigns of the class of 2025, you may now divest yourselves of all worth the wait, absolutely. Platform party and presenters of commissions, please recover. Audience, please remain in place until the departure of the official party, the playing of Stars and Stripes Forever, and the recessional. New ensigns and other military personnel, attend. Hey! Those covered, hands salute. Now, Homeland Security departing. Now, Homeland Security departing. Now, Senior Advisor to the Secretary for the Coast Guard departing. Now, Coast Guard departing. Now, Coast Guard Academy departing.
Yeah, they're totally backwards from what you expect.
Ready, two. Ladies and gentlemen, due to security requirements, the area behind the north end of the zone to my right is secured to all personnel.
The 144th Commencement exercises of the United States Coast Guard Academy are now concluded.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.